Hello everyone and welcome back to part 2 of Beginner to Pro Masterclass. Here with me, Tiger. Today we'll be going over some of the movements, strategizing your movements, and just in general moving across the stadium. You're gonna be absolutely mastering everything after this video, and later on we'll put this on together with the other things you'll learn so you know how to use this in any game and every game. So let's jump in the game and let's see how we can pull this off. Alright everyone, so now we're in a game here against 3 bots, and I'll be going over some of the movements that I use a lot in my games, starting off with the shuffle, also known as, for me, a crossover. It's really depending on person to person. So what you want to do is you want to reach over like I'm doing right here, and then go as wide as possible to try and get maximum reach, and then you just swing across again and you repeat this over and over, and you're gonna do this to each side as fast as possible. Mastering this move will be crucial for you if you want to go pro in this game, or in general just win your matches that you play. Alright guys, so now that you have mastered the crossover, we're gonna move on to the second thing for this video, which is gonna be moving up and down across buildings and all other stuff that's in the stadium. So as you can see, you can't really move up and down if you're just touching the air. You can just go to the sides. So when you go and touch a building like right there, you're gonna be able to move up and down and to the sides, so you're just gonna be able to move around the objects pretty easy. And this is really important to master, as 99% of the time you will want to go down by touching the walls of a building, because that's gonna be the easiest way instead of having to do that little jump. Alright guys, so the jump is very important. So what you want to do when trying to master the jump is you want to put your thumbs forward just like normal, and when you jump you're gonna do a tiny little jump, and then you're gonna grab the air right after, just like that, and then you do another jump, so you go down, straight down. This makes it so you can catch your opponents off guard and just go straight down on them instead of going a little over them. And practicing this, it's a bit hard to get the timing done, but when you can do it, you will feel absolutely unstoppable, and you will always be able to hit those crazy shots. Let me actually show you a video to me demonstrating how to do this. Alright, so here I have the player downed, and I'm trying to spray some gas on him, but I can't reach him from here. So I do one jump, I grab the air, and I go straight down on him. That was a little over jump because I did it too fast, but it's very important to master that skill as well. Alright, so now that you've mastered all of those things, and you now want to try and implement them into your games, so I'm just gonna show you some of the stuff that you've already been taught in this video and how you should use them in game. So basically, what you always want to think about is when you're moving, you always want to minimize the amount of things you're doing, because it's hard to keep track sometimes of where all the fighters are. You always want to analyze, so you want to think, what are the fastest ways to get to your opponents? So right here, I could try and jump over there, maybe go down and then shuffle over, but to me all I see here is I move from the wall to the wall, so I can swing myself across right here instead of having to do like a jump or anything like that. So you swing yourself across, you reach that building right there, and then you just with 3 moves you can easily grab inside there. So I did that pretty slowly, but in a game I would be able to do that in less than 2 seconds. I'd be able to just go straight into there and take them out in almost like 1 second, 2 seconds. And that's the thing, you gotta maximize your time, because you never want people to be able to shoot you, so you constantly gotta be moving, trying to get the opponents out of their hiding spots, and just going in there and grabbing them. That's the first way to do it. You just go in, 3 moves, you take them out, you throw them so that they can't go back, and there you are. You got yourself the freest kill of your life. Alright, so moving on from that point, now I'm gonna show you some tips on what you could do when you're catching yourself standing still. because on a VR, realistically, you should never be able to be hit for free. So if you're ever standing still or barely moving, just do those simple things that I'm doing with my arms right now. Going behind your back, you will always be able to reach something when you have to, and it's a very fast movement. Usually you can even catch some blanks happening when you're doing this, and people that don't know what a blank is basically they hit you, but since you're moving so fast, the server can't respond to their shot being hit, so you basically is not taking damage for the hits being shot at you. And also, as I said, you will always be able to go down and catch your opponents off guard like I'm doing right now. Just doing that shuffle and then being able to grab the opponent as soon as you see them, or as soon as they think they got you in a vulnerable state. Also, when we're talking about vulnerable states, I think that you should be moving constantly behind your back, because the more you turn around, move your head, move your arms, usually behind your back is also because you can move your arms from your front to your back so fast that you're gonna be almost impossible to hit. And you can also combine that with like behind the back shuffles, with front shuffles as well. Just mix up between those, be creative. The more you move, the better. So don't ever feel like you're limiting yourself with only the basics. You always gotta do some of your own creativity in there. Alright guys, so moving on from there, I'm gonna show you the fastest way to do the bridge start. So you always want to move upwards just like that, and then you want to go across down with one single movement. Then you move across, break one pillar, move across with a shuffle, break another pillar, and you just gotta work that in, do it faster and faster, and you'll be able to break the bridge in less than 2 seconds at all times. It's also very important because breaking the bridge for some plays is so important in the beginning, and it gives you so much more room to play with. Personally, I don't always to break the bridge the first thing I do, because also it does limit your ability to move downwards, because you can use the bridge to move under it with just one movement instead of having to jump down. But it's a personal preference, and personally I just don't think it's worth it at all times to do so, but a lot of bosses do, so I just wanted to show you the fastest ways to do so. Alright guys, so with that said, we're done for today. Thank you for watching. Again, special thanks to CVG, Nexion and Jarbles and everybody over there. They're helping me out so much at improving, and thanks to all of you guys who's watching, liking, commenting. I really appreciate it. All the support from the last video that I posted. This is video 2 out of at least 10. Probably gonna get some more bonus videos in there as well. So if you like this video, like, share, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao!